We at Jezza have embraced these principles and integrated them into the Nefs philosophy. Our aim is to promote exemplary HSE practices across Africa and establish international standards of safety across all industrial sectors. Nefs represents more than just a safety initiative. It is a catalyst for progress, a testament to our collective resolve to champion safety in every facet of the African development. The creation of Nefs marks a significant milestone in our journey towards total and continuous safety. At Jezza, health, safety, and environmental care and environment are not just a priority. They are core values that guide our daily actions and long-term vision. In closing, I want to reaffirm our unwavering commitment to safety excellence and extend an invitation to each of you to join us in this noble endeavor. Together, let's build a safer, healthier, and more sustainable future for all. Thank you. Let me introduce my colleague, Craig Hunt, who's the Assurance Director at Jezza. Thank you.
Thank you, Talal. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, what a pleasure, what a privilege to be here in front of you, representing this wonderful company that I work for called Jezza. Just to reaffirm some of the key points that Mr. Talal has just spoken about, I would like to just show you and demonstrate a brief video on Jezza, who we are and where we've arrived. If you could please play the video.
We are Jesa, backed by our two shareholders, Worley and OCP, world leaders in their fields. We are the world leader in phosphate engineering and one of the largest solution providers in Africa. We contribute with our expertise to global food security. For over 12 years, project after project, we have delivered innovative and advanced solutions for the development of Africa and for our clients' success. Today, we act as a trusted partner for a stronger, safer, better connected, and more sustainable Africa. Present through 7 offices across Africa and the United States, our 4,000 highly skilled professionals are laying the groundwork for a better future by implementing customized solutions that cover the entire life cycle of our clients' assets. We have developed new standards in consulting, design and engineering, project delivery, and asset management. We are transcending boundaries to deliver sustainable solutions. By bringing together natural gas, green hydrogen, and CO2 management, we are blazing new trails on the African continent. Our pioneering commitment to sustainability puts us in a unique position. People are our most valuable asset. We nurture our talents. We put their safety and well-being at the heart of everything we do. We are inclusive and diverse, as diversity and inclusion are part of our DNA. We recognize and promote our talents and improve the daily lives of communities wherever we have a presence. We think solutions. We think future. We are Jesa.
Thank you. So, back to the presentation. How Jezza, a Moroccan company, is supporting its clients and its partners to deliver world-class projects and deliver, more importantly, world-class HSE performance within their projects. A brief agenda for today, just as we're going to go through. Again, I will just take you through a few points regarding Jezza. I will take you through a few points regarding the current landscape of OSH, where we're at globally and where we're at on the continent. I will pass over to my colleague and we'll talk about how we've set strategies to develop our own OSH maturity and also that of our partners and clients. We will also take you through how those strategies have helped us to close the gap. And this whole Congress, in some ways, is about closing the gap. How do we do it? We'll talk you through some key initiatives that we've developed and that work for us and work for us globally work for us in the continent and beyond. And then I would like to talk to you again about Nefs, as Mr. Talal and the video has just shown you, and why it's important for us as a business and how we hope it will transcend the whole continent. And finally, we will end with some conclusions. So Jezza, as said, is an African leader in design, engineering, and project delivery. We deliver end-to-end solutions for any kind of project. Backed by two major shareholders, both locally and internationally, we are very, very, very proud to say that we are backed by OCP, a world leader in phosphates, or the world leader in phosphate, I may add, as well as a key global international operator, as well as Worley. Worley is a world leader in consultancy, design engineering, as well as construction and delivery management through the whole energy, chemicals, and resource sectors. We are a company of 4,000 people. And within that 4,000 people, again, we are very proud to be represented by 41 different nationalities. Diversity for us is very, very, very important, as is inclusion for that matter. 90% of our workforce are local, and again, that's also a statistic we are very proud of. We have a gender balance of 27%, and whilst we're proud of that, it is something that we're working to improve, to push that gap even further. But more and more key, I guess, to us is the fact that as well as our own employment services, our clients put trust in us, our clients put faith in us to deliver their projects. And in doing that, as a business, we are supervising approximately 25,000 contractors per day. And not only are we supervising 25,000 people per day, on the whole, we're doing it using our management systems, our risk approach, and our supervision approach. Jezza is truly keeping people safe. Now, we can't do it alone. Our partners come along for the ride with us, but we are proud to say that we are supervising 25,000 people who are working safely and are going home healthy at the end of the day. Represented in 7 countries across the continent and further afield, where we have a research and development office over in the US that predominantly carries out our license and some engineering for us. But we are also a business that transcends the globe in terms of project delivery, as you can see on the map behind me. So, we work in 6 different sectors. We cover fertilizer, mining, energy, water, ports, transportation, urban, and building. We advance all the sectors that we are working in. And as we've said multiple times already, we go through the whole asset life cycle of a project, from advising to technology selection, all the way through design, engineering, delivering, operating, and as well, end-of-life care if required. We are also very proud, and we must say thanks at this point to some of our clients that have put their trust in us in all of these sectors. So on behalf of Jezza, again, we thank all of the clients that put their faith in us to deliver their services. Okay, that's enough about Jezza. Back to the topic. Why is OSH important? Why is occupational safety important? We need to answer that question, we need to understand the landscape, the current landscape that we're operating in. So globally, each year, an estimated 2.9 million workers die from occupational accidents, occupational diseases each year. While it's estimated that an additional 395 million people suffer from non-fatal accidents, again, which provide a burden to society, huge burden to society, as well as locally to themselves and to their families. So this means that approximately 398 million people suffer some sort of injury, ill health, or death in some cases from work-related causes every year. And to put that into perspective, workplace-related deaths from work exceed the average annual number of deaths from war, from road accidents, from violence, and from HIV and AIDS combined. So that tells you the current landscape that we're operating in. But what does that mean for us here on this continent? What does that mean for Africa? Well, in relative terms, 6.71% of all deaths globally are caused at work. You just take a second to think about that. It's huge. The impact is vast. But what's more sad, I guess, for me, being somebody who lives on this continent, is that the attributable fraction of work-related deaths is estimated to be highest in Africa at 7.39%, followed by Asia Pacific and Oceania, respectively. Accidents typically happen, and this hasn't changed really over the years, unfortunately, but accidents typically happen in hazardous sectors, such as the ones that you can see behind me here. Construction, mining, fishing, forestry, agriculture, manufacturing. And every year, on the whole, around 200,000 people die due to fatal causes in these sectors, which represents around 60% of all fatal occupational injuries. Now, I think it's widely accepted if you are working in this field and you read or you keep up to date, let's say, with people like the ILO, World Health Organization, UN, that occupational disease far outweighs occupational injury significantly. And I guess that's the purpose of this Congress, partly, is for the great minds of these organizations and the world to get together to come and figure out how we can close the gap. But what's alarming for me as well is that when we look at the Afro region of the ILO group of regions, the occupational injuries far outweighs other regions. And not only does it far outweigh, it's almost up there with the circulatory disease, which is probably globally the biggest killer. So therefore, there's a problem, a big problem. How do we stop it, and how do we close that gap? How do we prevent people from getting injured? So what does that mean financially? Well, the total economic cost to global GDP is estimated at 6% with regards to workplace occupational injuries and death. The total economic loss in the The GDP of Africa in 2019 was around $2.5 trillion. And when you do the math and you do the 8% and you take it away, unfortunately and sadly, you can see that this continent alone is losing $200 billion just on workplace accidents and deaths. Now imagine what we could do with that money. Imagine what we could finance with that money on this continent. We could do so much. We could invest in better healthcare. We could have better farming. We could have better infrastructure. And whilst it makes sense to manage OSH at the national and the international level, it also makes sense at the local level. It has business benefits. Now, I'm sure all of us in this room are familiar with the iceberg principle, But even today, there is still a misconception that accidents at work can be recovered in terms of cost. And that's just not true. So what we can recover is a small proportion of healthcare. I guess we can insure against asset damage. But there's indirect costs that are 10 times greater that we cannot recover. Now, in a previous role of mine, in a life in a different region, we once did a study on this with a contractor who had approximately 10,000 people. And every year we calculated the cost of their for 1 year we calculated the cost of every accident. And this is a big contractor, by the way. And at the end of it, when we did the math and we come up to the end to come to the conclusion, this contractor, to recover the money that it lost, would have had to generate at least 2 additional projects per year. To put the money back onto their bottom line, they would have had to generate 2 additional projects and deliver 2 additional projects a year. The cost is vast, wasting so much. Now that doesn't even take into consideration the human loss, the personal loss. This is just why we should be doing it from the business aspect. So it's clear, the figures are alarming, the statistics are alarming. But what I would like to do, or what we would like to do as a company, is show you and take you on a journey on how we, Jezza, our partners, and our clients, and our shareholders for that matter, who have entrusted us with this journey, a Moroccan company who is working hard and tirelessly to close that gap. So without further ado, I would like to hand over to my colleague, Mr. Zachariah Taha, who will take you through the Jezza journey.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Greg, for the introductions. So now it's time to talk a little bit about and coming back to the theme of this event. So how Jezza was able to close the gap. So working with our partners and our shareholders to enhance safety in our country and in the continent was a big challenge. So over the years and when at Jezza inceptions, so Jezza have demonstrated that safety is part of its fundamental values. And Jezza was all the time delivering world-class solutions to its partners, to its ecosystems. So these figures will give you a summary about our journey since our Jezza creations, and also we'll be focusing more on the cultural maturities. As we are talking on these figures, you can see that the safety culture maturities going through its different journeys, and here we are giving you some evidence how Jezza developed it with the support of its shareholders and partners. So since our creation, so Jezza have introduced a new Jezza HSE management systems in Morocco. This system basically was based from the international standards and the worldwide best practice. So landing escape at the beginning, it was too hard, knowing that the culture that we had and we had observed that need a lot of challenge. First of all, safety, it's not priorities for some of the partners initially. Some of the challenge as well that we had initially, that's communication in terms of safety, it was not easy. Some challenges for reporting events, some challenges also to recognize the events, and also some challenges for investigation into events. But now you can see that moving from these vulnerable cultures to reactive cultures, compliant one, proactives, and now reaching the resilience as the targets, it took time. So change, it took times, but we can achieve it. And this is the evidence today that a local company with Africa DNA have supported its partners and ecosystem and clients to achieve these targets. What you are seeing on the trend, the graph, it's explain what we call the total recordable incident frequency rate. This is an international safety rate that assesses the health of the companies. It's calculated based on some constants and data, but it's also showing you the recordables incidents for a period of times. So here we started when we start recording our total recordable incident rates since our inceptions, we were talking about 0.58. When we benchmark ourselves with the international companies and OSHAs, yes, at this time it was hard. But over the years, and over launching a lot of initiatives, you can see that last years we have recorded 0.08 as a recordable incidents rate. And comparing ourselves with some international big companies, we should be part of this achievement as well. So starting first, what has been done through these initiatives, implementing systems, introducing new cultures. Talking about the Beyond Zero was our initial cultures. Beyond Zero, it's not a question of zero incidents. It's a question beyond. It's a question how we can take care of each others and how we can take safety outside the field and with our daily day-to-days. Also including safety in our project life cycles, starting from engineering till the asset management and all our business model, safety is part of it. So moving from this critical part of vulnerability to reactive part, when the focus switches, people start understanding what is the risks. We start introducing what we call the critical risks, and people start changing the risk perception at this level. But it was not easy. It required a lot of challenges in terms of trainings, developments of new skills, and also introducing a lot of campaigns that we'll be saying further. So moving from reactive maturity level to compliant level. At this level, we need some triggers, and the triggers was the secret on the leadership. That means we cannot succeed any HSE management system or any change without involving the people at the top. That means the people that they have influence, and they can quickly influence people. Launching a new leadership management systems, when the leaders walk the talk, that means proving what the word that they are talking in the field. And that was also one of the successful story of Jesa. Having also now at this level, as we have moved from normal HSE trainings to high-level trainings, when we have trained our people on the international standard to change the mindset. When we have also launched committees, that means today you will be funding in Jesa each Monday, our GLT members, from the general managers, from the all GLTs, they are gathered on the same meetings, talking about the safety for the weeks before, sharing lesson learned, and sharing everything linked to safety, and we cannot find this everywhere. Proactive part. Now we have reached the maturities, and we start talking about prevention. So how we can assess ourselves. At these levels, it was the creation of clear KPIs, key performance indicators. It's creation of digital tools, and especially after COVID, Jesa have launched a lot of initiatives on digital and on HSE digital tools. Plus the well-being. The well-being program helps a lot also our people to reach this level of maturities. Keeping this preventive mindsets, it's embedded all what we have capitalized for the 10 past years. That's mean we need to capitalize on all what we did, embedded all what we did, and share all what we did and move forward. Now at this level, we are expecting the resilience. This is why, so Talal and Greg talks about the Nefs, our new branding, no exception for safety. It's not a slogan, it's a mindset. So Nefs today, it's a way of life for Jesa and impacts all our business model. So I will not go through this aspect. So Greg will develop more for the coming slides. But just to tell you that Nefs today, the expectations, it's to promote
the mindset of preventions. And this is the way how we can reach this culture of resilience and maturities. Okay, so moving from the journey, that was brief summary about the journey, about all what Jeza did. I will be now going and take you to some tools. We cannot go through all the tools, but some of the tools that Jeza is proud of, that have been developed, and today it works. So the first one, it's safety observation report, or what we call it, live conversation. That means the secret today that everyone can report any unsafe act or conditions, and also can report the positive things that we can benchmark from and move forward. Today, have these tools, it's helping people to speak up, to bring in all the problems, and also all the concerns. This tools also is linked up with others, what we call life-saving rules that will be developed further, and focus on the critical risk activities. So today, I know that many of you know this what we call the accident pyramid. And there are many statistics and research talking about numbers, etc. At Jeza, we believe that to avoid the serious event and fatal accident, you need to reach and to target the base part, what we call the part of unsafe act and conditions. And just here to see the numbers of SORs, or safety observation reports, that have been reported just for last year. We are talking about 400,000 SOR reported. That means 400,000 accidents prevented. And not only Jeza people, our partners, our clients have been part of that. That means everyone who witnessed any unsafe act or situations, he needs to stop, he needs to react, correct, and then we can go forward. So now we can see that these programs, it's also help us to trend and collect the data, and also help us also to install a longer-term sustainable controls. Based on all this data and analysis, we can predict and we can put some initiatives in action overall. Okay. So if you remember from the journey, we moved from the critical risks to the life-saving rules. Today, Jeza, we have 12 life-saving rules. These life-saving rules are based and benchmark also from the IOGP, the International Association of Oil and Gas Producers. And also we have included our life-saving rules that they are linked to our business, and also that's respond to the serious event that we have recorded in our business as well. If we go through them quickly, so logout, tagouts, energy isolations, it includes all the energies, pneumatic, hydraulics, chemicals, and others. The hot work activities, we are seeing how many incidents, fire incidents linked. Safe mechanical liftings, our activity, you know, that's construction activities and heavy industrial activities. Heavy lifting is a big part and represents a big risk for our activities. This is why we need to have a clear process, clear procedures, and clear control before authorizing any lifting operations. Excavations, bypassing safety control. That's mean, to clarify this point, that's mean today, in some situations, we can override some protections due to some reason. But this override should be authorized, should be mitigated, should be assessed and approved by the qualified person before giving approval on that. Mobile equipments, all the equipment that they are moving represent a high risks of accidents. Hazardous substance, we are working on different chemical plants, and this risk also is part of our life-saving rules. Driving, so Greg have shown some figures regarding the fatal accident due to drivings, and this is also one of our life-saving rules. Line of fires and confined space. So this is mainly our life-saving rules where we have a clear process and protocol, and we apply zero tolerance policy on that. Okay, so life-saving rules, what's the objectives? It's help people to understand differently and perceive the risks. It's help us also to monitor and measure the behaviors of peoples, and also it's help people to protect themselves, especially people that they are on the last line of defense. If they are applying all the rules, if they are respecting all the rules, they will prevent themselves from any harm or any serious events. Okay, now we'll be talking about the risk management process or risk approach that Jesa is applying. So at different level of organizations, so we have these risk management tools, but let me now just focus in on the project delivery part. So at the beginning of each project, we have hazard identification and risk assessments that should be done at all level of the project and assessing all the hazards and risks into projects. Then this is the first layer. Then we can go through other layers. We have a system of permit to work that also helps people at this level to assess the risks and identify all the hazards. We didn't stop at this level as well. We go through other levels, that means the workers who is working himself and he's in the first line of defense. Before any activities, he should identify the hazards, assess the risk with his supervisors, understand the task that he will be doing, put a mitigation plan and the resources needed. And then we can be sure that we will be having a lot of layers of defense. Yes, we are still having some incidents, unfortunately. And when you are deep diving, you find that one of the layers was failed. But when people understand that all these layers are linked to the life-saving rules, and they are respecting the rules, they reduce the severities and they prevent a lot of accidents. So this is just an idea about the approach of risk management. Yes, in different company, everyone how it's used, but at Jesa we are choosing to use this level of layers. If someone not work, at least we can move to the other one. So, as we are talking about the life-saving rules, so here, this is just an example of one of Jesa life-saving rules, and what is the kind of rules and kind we are talking about the bypassing safety controls. So Jesa today, they have developed what we call the life-saving rules package. And we are offering this package to our partners, to our ecosystems. And this package, it's a series of videos in 3 languages, Arabic, Darija, French, English, and helping our ecosystems and the workers to understand the risk related to every life-saving rules that can be also used on the toolbox talk that we are doing, the trainings, and every time people can have access to this package. The objective behind it is to change the people's perception of risks. Changing mindset, it's not easy, but you should put investment on that. You should help people, train them, assess them, coach them, and then you can have a result. We know that the journey it's endless, and especially when we are speaking about the HSE. The journey is endless because people are new, coming, level of turnovers. You need to onboard new people, but at least you keep the same process, you keep the same system, and this system will help people to enhance and change the culture and reach the maturity one that you are looking for. Leadership. We talk on the journey part that we cannot achieve any milestone without involving the leaderships. Walk the talks, it's the secret. At Jesa we have strong leadership programs that involve in our top managements. And these leadership programs is designed to people who can influence the cultures at different levels, talking about the BUs, the business unit head, the program directors, the project managers, construction managers, everyone have influence on his sides. So we have set up some KPIs for these leadership activities. When we're talking about leadership activities, I can give you some insight and some example. As a leader, I should participate on the investigation. When accident happened, I should go, I should investigate, I should understand what's happened, help the team to put an action plan and to prevent the recurrence. I should once do site visits, office visits, talk to the people, understand what the problem that they have, understand how I can support them. This is what mean leadership activities. Be part of some forums like this one. So we have a lot of leaders with us. They are talking about safety, they are believing on safety. This is a leadership activity. That demonstrates their commitment to safety and to our cultures. Okay, moving to the training. So training, it's a big component. So when we are doing analysis of the incidents worldwide and seeing the trends and seeing the contribution factors, trainings come out of the box as one of the biggest cause of the accidents. So training people, it's important. Helping people to understand the risk and changing the risk perception is important. So here I want to thank our shareholders, OCP, who have invested a lot on the ecosystem training programs. So just to give you some figures, in 2014, we have trained over 10,000 workers as strong HSE programs. Over, I guess, 500, 600 supervisors have been trained. Just last year also, we have trained almost 1,500 workers. And this year also, we are extending this program to other regions. And the south of Morocco, where we are training also, and when we have launched also these programs in Laayoune, and we are training our people in the same programs. So what is these programs? Especially dedicated to our ecosystems. We have two models, what we see, or two sections. One section focusing on the general workers, on the workers, and the other section is focusing on the supervisors, people that they are managing others. So the aim and the objective of this training is to help people, and especially the workers, to understand what is the risk, to change their mindset while they're executing the task on a daily basis. The objective of the others models for the supervisors is to help the supervisors to assure that all these tasks are well prepared, the risks are well assessed, and also that they are using the right tools on the right moment. So going deeply on the programs. So the program is divided on two parts, as I said. For general workers, it's mainly 20% of theoretical stuff and 80% of practicals. That means for workers who are helping them to understand on practice, we have stand, we took them through the life-saving rules, showing them how to use PPE, and other stuff that we'll go through it. It's provided in Arabic language in Darija, and also at the end of these programs, people need to pass a quiz, and the minimum objective is to reach 80% of the marks. If they are not reaching this mark, they need to go again and pass the one-day trainings and pass the exam. For the supervisors, it's 5 days trainings, intensive 5 days trainings. 50% is theoretical and 50% is practicals. And also they have the same process, quiz at the end. They need to reach 80%, and it's provided in French languages. So here the first program, it's mainly focusing on workers. That means we need to help workers to understand the risk related to their activities. The other topics linked to supervisors, it's to help supervisors to change the culture, because these people, they have the influence as well. They are supervising simple workers, and they can influence them, helping them also to planify their task, understand the tools, and also react in case of events, helping them to understand how doing investigations, how doing also mitigations, and also how to prepare the emergency response in case of any emergencies. So this program today, it's helping a lot our ecosystem, and I want to thank our ecosystem who has been part of it, and I will take this opportunity to thank them as well. Okay, moving to digitals. Part of our journey was focusing on digitals. And we know today that digitals, it's a key component for all the business model, and especially for HSE, To be efficient on HSE, you need to change your mindset for simple documents, simple manual template, to smart and intelligent templates. So our journey starts by small dreams, by platforms that have been developed in-house by our Jezza genius people, that they are not HSE, but they are believing on HSE and propose some solution to help the HSE. This idea starts with the simple platforms, collecting the data, to smart platform today, that they are intelligence, including artificial intelligence, and our focus also is to include the IoT, what we call an intelligence of things, when we can help our people by the technology to detect the risk and prevent accidents. So we'll be going through some tools that we are developing. So we have an HSE platforms. I will go through it. Jesa Pocket, Ecosystem Safety Performance, GPass, and others. Let me just stop a few seconds on each one, and just to show you what is the utilities of this platform on our HSE management system and on our way how we are dealing the projects every day. HSE platform today, this is a platform that is used by every project, every single project. We just need to include all the data, leading and lagging indicators, and help us also as outcomes to analyze the trends, share the lessons learned, etc., etc. And also in terms of incident investigation, etc., that's helped us lots to understand and to take lessons there from incidents and others. GPass, it's also in-house platform developed. So what this GPass mean? GPass, it's a system that enable us to track all the people that we have on site, to track the machinery, and also help for the procurement material follow-up. That help us also to provide statistics on people on time, monitor the training, control the construction machinery, etc. Help us also just via QR code to understand where is the location of each machinery, if people are trained or not, etc., etc. And that's helped a lot today on our construction site to improve our efficiency and also prevent a lot of situations that could be serious at the end. So this is just this GPass also, it's on applications, and we're showing here where we can apply it on site. So the GPass, it's also used before starting the project. That's mean before starting any projects, this is tools that allow us to assess all the requirements needed, giving the green lights to our partners or ecosystem before starting the construction site. Jesa Pocket. This is a pocket today or platform where we encompass all our tools talking about, you remember we talked before about the safety observation reports that people can report any unsafe act or condition. This is a digital tools. That means people, when they are on site, they can use only their smartphone, report anything, and the rest can be followed up. So leadership activities. We talk about the leadership activities as a key. Also today, our leaders, when they are doing any activities, they can only submit their activities on Jesa Pocket platform. Safe plan of actions. We talk a little bit about the safe plan of actions. That means everyone who should do a task, he should assess the risks. Digital tools help them also on that, and help us also to assess if this safe plan of actions, it's well done, or it's missing some things, or missing any mitigations. And the last one, it's the Nefs inspection that have been just developed. So we're talking about our Nefs. Today, our Nefs also is included on digitals, and we can inspect, we can proceed with the checking via digital platform as well. Ecosystem safety performance. As we reach, as we can say, satisfied level of maturities, our ecosystem today, they have access to our digital platforms. And they are assessed based on their leading and lagging indicators. So they have access, they can upload their leading and lagging indicators according to the contractual requirements. We audit them, we assess them, and this data is helping today our procurement for the post-selection process, for the ranking of each contractors, etc. So the objectives behind, it's beyond assessing the contractor as well. The well-being. So the well-being program, it's an important component for us. And every week, every manager can receive the well-being scoring of his team, checking if his scoring is okay or not, assessing the trends, and also assessing his dashboard, what he's missing, what he should work with his team on it. And this is also part of our HSE management systems. And well-being today, it's part of our key success. So I guess my presentations come to the end. I will again give the floor to my colleagues, Greg, to develop more about the Nefs and how it has been created and what is the next step. Thank you.
Thank you, Zachariah. Just before I move on to Nefs, as Zachariah touched on, the initiatives that we've got in place, especially the digital initiatives, are to make us more efficient, but they're also to provide feedback loops. It's very important to have feedback loops, in particular when you're dealing with contractors and when you're dealing with employees. You need to have a litmus test to be able to say, how are they feeling, how are they doing, how can we help, how can we support. Everything we do is about supporting the wider community. We don't just collect data for the sake of collecting data. We do it to be able to sit down with our partners, with our clients and say, this is the data we've got. How can we use this to advance us? How can we use this to move forward together? Also, as Zachariah said, and again, I feel like I've just had a masterclass, so thank you. As Zachariah said, this curve is something that enables us to be able to demonstrate a clear progression of improvement. But when you superimpose the maturity level of where we've come from to where we are now and what we're aiming for, you can see that coming from a vulnerable state all the way through to proactive, and now looking to be a resilient organization and bring everybody along with us for the ride, for us it's a testament, it really is. And it's a testament to everybody that's been involved and again put their faith in us. So what is Nefs? Nefs, as we've said already, is an acronym for No Exception of Safety. It's a strategy to promote and put us on our next S-curve towards excellence. It's the next level of maturity for Jezza and for its ecosystem. It's also a cultural anchor. So it provides and it resonates meaning in both English and Arabic. And again, that's very, very important for an organization that is located in an Arab-speaking country. It's centered around the science of human factors, where we look at the job from an holistic approach, and we look at decisions being made by leadership, we look at decisions being made by task planners, and we look at the performance and the operation of the people actually doing the work. And again, it's how do we improve? Can we step back? How do we look at this holistically for the good of all? So without further ado, I want to share with you a brief video, which is what we call the Nefs manifesto, which will explain a little bit more about what Nefs is, and then I will take you through some more information. If you could please play the video.
At Jesa, we believe that safety is not just a statistic, but a fundamental mindset and core value. Our commitment extends beyond our office walls and project sites, reaching into our homes and communities. To fortify our philosophy, we have created a new HSE brand called Nefs, No Exception for Safety, an Arabic term with an English acronym to unite and engage all the members of Jezza's ecosystem. Nefs symbolizes the soul and the determination. The signature, No Exception for Safety, means no exception will be made in terms of HSE for the good of all. The mission of Nefs: perform in all our activities while always ensuring the health, the safety, and the well-being of everyone, and safeguarding the environment. Continuously reinforce, support, and spread the HSE Jezza culture among all the ecosystem. The vision: a world-class HSE leadership model generating more value while building a safer and more sustainable world. The values: safety and transparency, a strong logo with the same typography as Jesa. It represents a roof, symbol of safety and protection. Nefs is a relentless journey for a safe working environment and world-class HSE culture, no matter where you are based.
Thank you very much. So our mission, or our hope, our belief, is to elevate this particular brand to the whole continent. We hope that everybody can buy into it. We hope that everybody can resonate to it. And as Jezza grows and it expands, it will also enable us to transcend borders because of its deep meaning in English and its deep meaning in Arabic and the way it translates into other languages as well. So as I've already said, it's a brand that we hope and is, I must say already, elevating us to the next level of maturity. It's also a brand that is designed around our core values of safety, transparency, and integrity. And in fact, you can't have one without the other. They're all intertwined. So as Mr. Talal said earlier when he introduced the subject, for us and for our shareholders, transparency, integrity, and safety are the founding principles of everything we do. It's also a platform for connecting hearts and minds. And that's maybe something we've been missing in the past. We've been very mechanical in our approach. But now we want to touch people, and we want to cause a ripple effect. And it's like dropping a stone in a pond. And when you drop a stone in a pond, it ripples like this, and it goes out and out and out. And that's what we are going to push Nefs to be. We want it to be the ripple effect, and we want it to touch everybody that comes into contact with it. It's a belief that everybody has the right to go home. And it's a belief that actually we've always believed. And in fact, we believe something a little bit different. We believe that people have the right to come to work and go home healthier and happier than when they arrived. And that's a slightly different mindset. You know, they've come to do their work, they've been mentally stretched, they've been physically stretched, and they've been paid, and they're happy. They come to work and they go home happier, healthier, and safer than when they arrived. That's what we want. It's a holistic mindset of prevention and no exception. And it's a true mindset that safety is at the heart and health of everything that we do. The vision is to be a world-class HSE leader with African DNA, to be the solutions company for Africa. But to do that, you need a clear vision of HSE. We want to generate more value and develop a safer world and a healthier world, in particular on this continent, where there's so much potential. And Jezza, being the solutions company for Africa, will help their clients develop that potential in a safe and healthy manner. The mission for us is to perform in all our duties and all our activities safely, and to make sure that everybody that's working with us, everybody that's working alongside us, follows the same path. And finally, the values are to be, or to do it safely, but more importantly, to do it transparently. Transparency, transparency. To do this, we've had to develop a framework of integration, because as you could see from the past, we've already been on a long journey and we had previous management systems. And this is just a little diagram that explains how we have integrated it into our overall system and into our what we call our EMS, which is our integrated management system. We based it on PDCA, which is a renowned world model. So it's governance, strategy, culture building tools, management systems, training programs, tools and programs, and performance monitoring and reporting, based around the PDCA, Plan, Do, Check, Act model. But more importantly, as I've said earlier, it's a program of it's a program that's based around human factors and the human factors approach. And for us, that's important because traditionally we've always focused on the worker and sometimes on the supervisor. But actually, the whole environment and the leaders and the managers also have a part to play. So human factors approach, if you didn't already know, it focuses on 3 elements or 3 pillars: the organization, individuals, and the job itself. Now, if we look at that in a slightly different way, and you can probably see it on the screen here behind me, we can see that everybody, or we all have a part to play in the chain. So leadership are the decision makers. They're the people who set the culture, decide on the leadership styles, people who provide resources, training, systems, tools, and eventually methods of monitoring and measuring how we are performing. Then there's the supervisors and the middle management. And these people are responsible for assessing risk, looking at tasks, assessing work environments, looking at workload planning, scheduling, ergonomics, means and methods, and work procedures. How is the work being done? How are we putting people to work in a safe environment? And then finally, there's the workers themselves. These are the implementers. Are we giving them the right tools? Have we given them the right support? Have we given them the right competence and skills and communication and consultation for them to be able to work and execute their tasks safely? Now for this, we have to build key metrics. We have to be able to monitor it. We have to be able to measure it. And that's exactly what we are doing and what we have done to be able to take this to the next level. Now, in conclusion to our presentation today, I would like just to give a few key points. The whole theme of the Congress is called Closing the Gap. And we want to tell you that closing the gap is possible, especially in Africa, and that Jezza is proof that it is actually being done. There are companies like Jezza and its partners leading the charge in Africa. Africa is arrived, it has arrived, it's here and it's now. Change needs a catalyst, and we encourage everybody to be that catalyst. We want to be that catalyst, we are that catalyst. The process of improvement is a journey, and you can see from our journey it takes a long time. We've been operating for close to 13 years, but slowly and surely we've chipped away, and we have started to reduce the gap to a point now where we're becoming more and more resilient. We encourage everybody to come along for the ride. You can't do it alone, we can't do it alone. We need all organizations, all agencies on board, promoting and pushing in the same direction. And finally, we encourage everybody to share their successes. Sometimes we hear negatives, sometimes we hear too many negatives about the way we perform, about the continent, about statistics. But there are successes, there are pockets of brilliance, and there are shining lights, and we encourage everybody to share them, just as we are here today sharing our success. Now finally, to end the session, with any new strategy that you implement, you have to anchor the key messages. You have to make it resonate with people. Now for us, the way we've done that with Nefs is we've done it through song. We've contacted and worked with creative agencies to develop, to meet, and to create a way and a method of making Nefs resonate with our ecosystem colleagues and partners. So without further ado, I'd like to just ask my colleague to play the song that I'm talking about, and then we'll take it to the next level.
خارج من الدار صحيح نرجع ليها بصيح
بنفس ولوازم الخدمة والكاسك مليح بلاصتي نكون معلم
قبل ما نخدم سلامتي وسلامة الغير اللي ما يرفد الهم
وما ندير غالي مأهل ليها والباقي نخليه ندير خدمتي مع جيزة كل عمل عنده مواليه
وفي العلو ندير السلطة حياتي في القضية كاع تعليمات السلامة مزيانة ليك وليا كلنا مسؤولين على حياتنا والسلامة نفس وجيزة جاو على قبلك نتايا وانا كلنا مسؤولين على حياتنا والسلامة نفس وجيزة جاو على قبلك نتايا وانا مرحبا يا مرحبا عام عليكم زين نفس تحافظ على النفس ونبغيهم الاثنين
حافظوا على البيئة وما نلوحوش اللي كان نقي والمكان يدوم لينا سنين
كلنا مسؤولين على حياتنا والسلامة نفس وجيزة جاو على قبلك نتايا وانا كلنا مسؤولين على حياتنا والسلامة نفس وجيزة جاو على قبلك نتايا وانا
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great honor, it's been a great privilege to present to you and show off our company that we're all very proud of. I'd like to say thank you. We're open for Q&A. So if you have any questions that you would like to put to the panel here, you've got Mr. Talal, Mr. Sanjeev, who's our head of delivery, Mr. Abdulaziz Al-Hashmi, who's in charge of asset management, Zachariah, who's already being introduced, and we've got Mr. Omar Zizi, who's the head of our corporate director. So if you have any questions that you would like to put to us today, we're very happy to take them. Thank you again, you've been amazing. Thank you.
My name is Nirupam, I'm coming from Buffalo, New York. It was an impressive presentation for sure. I have two parts in my question. The first part, I was interested to know if, what specific measures are you taking with contractor management in terms of safety? And the second part of the question is about potential best reporting. I think it was in slide number 5. Stand up. Okay.
I didn't hear that.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I think it was in slide number 5 where you nicely presented the pyramid of reporting, starting from near miss right up to fatalities. I was interested to know if something is being done with terms of potential best reporting, meaning if there's a near miss, we just got higher potential, whether how much attention does it get?
I can't. I'm so sorry, I don't. Forgive me one second. Stripping off, sorry.
This is one way of responding to your question.
Is this what happened? Hello. Well, sorry. I'm so sorry. Could you just repeat your question one more time? Very, very sorry.
Hello. So the first part of the question was about contractor management. I was curious to understand how you manage contractors in terms of EHS. The second part of the question was about potential best reporting. Most of the companies are now moving from consequent best reporting to potential best. For example, a near miss can get more attention than a recordable.
Yes, okay, thank you. Do you mind if I take this question? So with the first question regarding contractor management, we work in an ecosystem. Our ethos is to develop and promote. So yes, we go and we do pre-qualification and we collect metrics and we collect data, but it's not to exclude people. In fact, it's the opposite. It's to bring them in and work with them and to try and get our ecosystem from wherever they are to a better performance level. And that's why we've got the tool called ESP, Ecosystem Safety Performance. It's about contractor management. It's every week or every month we sit down, we collect data, we review data with them, but we do it together. And we go through the metrics and we chart a path ahead on how we can improve. And sometimes, by the way, they come to us and they allow us to improve. So it's not only a one-way thing. In terms of your second question, sorry, remind me again. Best practice. So as Zachariah mentioned earlier, so we have SOR system. And the observations are based, you talked about near misses, but for us it's below near misses, it's in observations. And our SORs are based on worst potential severity, not on actual severity. So any observation that is reported with a worst potential severity of 3 or above gets a proper investigation. And we do that for a number of reasons, because when we talk about looking at the base of the pyramid, whilst it's great and it does reduce incidents, it's also been proven that some serious accidents still break through the net, right? So if you start to look at it through the prism of SIFs and preventing serious incidents and fatalities, the life-saving rules and the worst potential severity is what's more important to us. And the trigger to how much focus we put on that observation depends on the worst potential severity. So what you're saying is absolutely correct, and we work in the same way.
Sorry. So for how we manage ecosystem, so we manage the ecosystem before the awarding and after the awarding. So before the awarding, we have kind of classification and notation for all companies, and we take in consideration the ECC metrics in selecting companies. After awarding, so we have the contractual side, and we have one annex, which is Annex S. In this Annex S, we precise all commitments and the involvement of the company which they need to respect through the project. And when they are executing the project, so we follow their performance in terms of HEC, and we score them at the end of their performance, and we take this scoring for the next awarding. So it's kind of, we close the loop in terms of managing ecosystem in all time, and by this we make them all in competition, and the performance one in HEC is taken in consideration. Thank you.
Hello.
I'm Krishna from India. I work for a large EPC company as well. I have a small query. I understand this is an excellent presentation, and I see the TRIR coming very much down over a period of time, a good sign. But I have a query to understand. Is it also including the performance of your subcontractors? And if yes, is there any consequence in case the incidents are not reported? Because there could be a huge pressure on the people to not report for the reprimand it might come, because you are improving over a period of time, and anybody having an adverse consequent might damage the total record. So there could be a chance of hiding the incident. Is there any policy for consequence in case it is not reported or hidden? And that would be very interesting to know. Thank you very much.
So thank you for the questions. So we know that this is it's a dilemma, by the way. So yes. So and I have highlighted also this part at the, if you remember, the vulnerable levels, especially at the beginnings. So we can recognize that we had this level before, but now we are creating like a culture of transparency with our partners, and without any blame cultures. So pushing them to report. It could be some individual cases. Yeah, we can understand the behavior of people. But when you are at top management level or our partners, now we have created this relationship with transparency is a key. And that's helping us also to cover all the events. Now in that's also we have a team on field, and also this is part of their rules. If they are witnessing anything, they need to report it. I guess mainly when we still have challenge today, it's reporting the near misses. People still didn't understand the way how that near misses could help them to prevent. And this is our big challenge today. It's how push the contractor to report near misses. So yes, it's a dilemma. We know on that. We are working on transparency relationship, but it's linked mainly on behaviors, and this is part of our journey changing behaviors.
So if I can just touch on that as well, the answer to your question is yes. That does include the ecosystem and the contractors. And on average, or at least let's say last year, we supervised or managed around 60 million field work hours. Okay, so, but you can also see from the graph as it's coming down, not every year it comes down. Huh? Sometimes it equals out, sometimes it goes up. But if you look at the linear trend, it comes down. But the key is transparency and neutralizing your language and avoiding a blame culture. Because if you have a blame culture and you're trying to finger people rather than work with them to improve, unfortunately it will set you back in time. So our ethos is to develop an ecosystem with transparency, with equality, and with great communication where we can sit down and say, you know what, nobody's happy that the accidents happen, but how can we prevent it from happening again?
So another point, if you remark in the journey, we have started by vulnerability, reactive, proactive leadership, and when we reached Jesa, be safe, we have spoken about compliance. And in this compliance, we have asked people of Jesa and ecosystem to speak up and to be transparent. And it's kind of involvement of all stakeholders to raise all of these incidents throughout the journey. And we have kind of incentives in our work, incentive with the bonus and malus, with people who are raising more incidents, who are more involved, and of course people who are hiding things. So we have kind of blame of people who are hiding things and not showing things. So it's kind of giving bonus and giving malus through the reactiveness of people.
Hello, thank you, Jesa, for this wonderful presentation. Je vais poser ma question en français, c'est Loubna Tahri, et je suis professeure de médecine du travail. Et donc, je pose la question concernant la médecine du travail. Quelle est la place des médecins du travail et de la médecine du travail dans tout ce système-là? Et comment se fait cette relation entre les services d'hygiène-sécurité et la médecine du travail? Merci. Est-ce que vous avez aussi des indicateurs relatifs à la médecine du travail? Merci.
Donc, merci pour la question. Alors en fait, pour la médecine du travail, effectivement, donc, on a un staff médical, donc, y compris des médecins de travail qui gèrent l'entreprise. Donc on est aujourd'hui à 4000 personnes dans la boîte. Et on a le nombre qui répond à la réglementation en vigueur. On a même des infirmières qui sont affectées au site et qui reportent à nos médecins de travail. Donc il y a tout un programme relatif à la médecine du travail, en commençant par l'onboarding, ce qu'on appelle le recrutement, donc la visite médicale de recrutement, et bien sûr il y a le suivi médical qui vient par la suite. Et les médecins de travail pour nous, donc ils jouent un rôle très important en termes de les visites médicales sur site, le suivi médical, les inspections aussi, sans oublier qu'on travaille aussi en partenariat avec des entreprises qui gèrent la partie médicale pour chaque chantier. C'est-à-dire, donc au niveau de chantier, il y a des entreprises qui gèrent il y a un médecin, des ambulances qui gèrent aussi la partie médicale. Ça au niveau des sites. Au niveau de corporate, donc c'est sûr, on a des indicateurs qui gèrent la partie well-being. Ça fait partie aussi de la médecine de travail. Et c'est la présentation, le slide là où j'ai montré les KPIs en termes de well-being. Aujourd'hui, chaque manager ou chaque directeur elle reçoit donc d'une façon hebdomadaire des indicateurs par rapport à la partie well-being, là où il doit mettre en place des actions s'il voit une défaillance là-dessus. Donc je confirme, au niveau de Jesa, on a un service médical dédié qui a tout un process et qui suit les indicateurs qui en découlent. Donc, j'espère que j'ai répondu à votre question. Merci.
Rapidement, un point complément de la question. Donc, après Covid, nous avons mis en place un système d'assistance sociale. Donc, même les gens au niveau de leur maison, s'ils ont des cas spécifiques, donc ils peuvent appeler l'assurance. Et il y a une ambulance médicalisée avec un docteur qui peut se déplacer à leur maison pour faire l'assistance et même l'accompagnement vers une clinique spécifique. La deuxième des choses, après Covid, nous nous sommes concentrés sur ce qu'on appelle mental health, tout ce qui est santé mentale. Et donc, nous avons mis en place ce qu'on appelle VivaCare, qui mesure chaque semaine l'état d'esprit de la population pour chaque manager. Et donc, cette information et ces indicateurs, ils sont remontés aux responsables directs, ils sont remontés à la direction des RH et au HSE pour pouvoir faire le record de tout ce qui est sécurité mentale et état mental des gens et pour assister les personnes, tout ce qui est stress et tout ce qui est comportement mental qui n'est pas normal. La troisième des choses, c'est des campagnes d'assistance ou bien de coaching spécifique à des personnes. Donc si une personne se sent mal à l'aise ou bien se sent un besoin d'une assistance mentale ou bien une assistance psychique, donc il peut contacter directement le médecin et lui, il le met en contact avec un coach avec toute la confidentialité nécessaire. Merci.
Hello, thank you for your presentation. I am a Moroccan journalist. I have two questions, and it's relatively to your training programs. I'd like to know if you count to make in point a level of Nefs, processes of labelations, to maybe give the labels for the companies who would like to have this kind of certifications, and does it just a guarantee of respecting this health and security environment in work? And my second question is what are I beg your pardon. I would like to know also if you make some reports, some kind of annual reports of your activities, in order to communicate some interesting conclusions of your activity. And thank you very much.
I will answer the first question. It's a very good question, actually. As we want HSE to spread further in our industry, in our country, in our continent, at the same time, we also have a process of what we call, lessons learned. And we are not there to patronize anyone. So to us, that's very, very important. The first step, and my colleague, said, earlier, the ripple effect. C'est le principe de quand on jette une pierre dans l'eau et que ça crée différents cercles et que ça agrandit. So the ripple effect for us is we work first with our company, our people, our colleagues, our ecosystem. So all the subcontractors that we work with, we train their people. We make sure that we all follow the same set of HSE rules. And ideally, further down the line, we would definitely love to see our HSE brand, being used as a standard. Yeah, but we're not there yet. Absolutely, absolutely. But we want to remain humble, like I said. We share first. And the second part?
So the second part was about having external communications. So yes, maybe it's some things to think about it. It's how Jezza can maybe share with the external and maybe some lesson learned, etc. This is some things that maybe we can think about it, but it's a good idea. So thanks for sharing. It's a good idea. Thank you. Yeah, this one is the first. Yeah, no, it's a good start.
The first step.
Thank you very much for excellent wonderful presentation. But as an old occupation physician, I have many questions to we can't have the answer for them. The first one, what is the impact of Jezza on the handicraft sector? What is the impact of Jezza in fishery sector, on fishery sectors, and in agriculture sector? In your slide, we can read elevating HSE standard in our country. Do you think it's true when we said that? Because elevating HSE standard in Morocco, it's very difficult. How many companies can improve or enhance occupational health or HSE standard in Morocco? Or what is the impact on the workforce in Morocco?
So look, for us, if I may answer, if I understood your question correctly about impacts, as I've said, we have an ecosystem. Our ecosystem comprises of around about 110 companies that we use, Moroccan and international, on the continent. And in that 110 companies, there's around about 80,000 people that we've touched. I'm not going to say it's data that we have, but if you look at the way we've inducted people onto projects and the number of people that we've come in contact with to spread our messages, we've touched around about 80,000 people. And as you can see, as you can see from the graphs with the accident rates coming down and the reports of occupational disease, that's the impact that we've had. Now, is it tangible? Is it measurable? For us, we kind of think it is. Could we sell it better in terms? Could we package it better to make it stand out more? I guess yes, we could. But I think that's also the same point that our colleague from the journalist had as well. Do you produce an annual report that has a story? And I guess at the moment we do not, but it is something that we will definitely start to comprehend and put forward, I think.
So in addition to what Mr. Craig said, we can, and answer to your question, for Jezza, it has been created at 2010. And from that time until now, we can record between 6,000 and 20,000 persons per day working in Jezza projects and InnoCP projects. And starting from 2010, we do have working with companies, and we know companies. And when we have started speaking HEC, the totality or the majority of companies working with us, they didn't have HEC people, HEC supervisors, HEC organization, and even HEC policy. So from this time until now, and we can see all people working with us now, they do have this. For schools, in Morocco, we haven't, in 2010, schools with HEC diploma. And now we have engineering schools, and we have technician schools with HEC supervisors. Why? Because we have insisted to have kind of diploma and graduation based on the HEC. In the beginning, when in Morocco we haven't had those kind of specialists, we have hired them from outside, from on board, and overseas. And now we can see we have the majority are Moroccan. So all of those, let's say, KPIs show very clearly that when Jezza started, and thank you to OCP who helped us and support us in these conditions. It was very hard because people, they have refused, they have blocked, and they have even didn't work to align with us. But when we have been firm and when we have been categoric, all people they start to be aligned, and we can list all companies working with us, and no one didn't have an HEC director or an HEC engineer or an HEC supervisor, and this prove a big impact on the industrial environment of Morocco. Now we are humble. We cannot say we are the only people who impact, but we can say modestly that we are one of the big players. Thank you.
If I can just also add to that, just thinking about your question again. It's difficult to quantify, but I can. Yesterday I had a conversation with some people from the local insurance companies here in Morocco. And what they were saying to us was, when they come to visit our stand and having a conversation, is that when they, as insurance companies, insure projects or insure companies, and they know they're working with Jezza, their statistics improve tenfold, almost. And it's almost, and again, I can't quantify this, but it's just conversations that I had yesterday with said companies, that they also, it's getting to the point where they give these companies reductions in their premiums because their performance has increased so much with regards to preventing people from getting hurt. So I guess, as I said, while that's difficult to quantify, it is a conversations that was shared with us yesterday, and I guess that is a true impact, if that is the case.
As a small addition, is that we're starting to see within our ecosystem as an impact that they themselves, from an autonomous point of view, having a safety culture of their own. And we've touched 80,000 people, 30,000 every day, and we've been touching everyone from the beginning 10, 12 years ago, 14 years ago. And this impact on the ecosystem and on the people has become big. And even on the workers, they are today aware of the dangers they can have on a site.
Yes, we have a question.
Hi, my name is Jesa. I'm a consultant physician from Australia. As I've walked through the room, somebody told me this is a synergy between Morocco and Australia, and I was very pleasantly surprised. Wasn't expecting flying all the way from Australia to hear about the synergy happening over here. So I congratulate you, what have you done, and all the things you've demonstrated. What I wanted to know from this synergy was, what have been your learnings and takeaways from Australian HSC, from our occupational health and safety? Did you get any insight from there, or did you have to start from scratch? I understand African safety regulations are very different from Australasian. We follow our own local. So what have been your takeaways from Australia?
So, look, the work safe place Australia has great rules, regulations, practice, and guidance. But from our inception, I guess back in 2010, and as the world's moved into globalization, we've been able to take practices from all over the world. And we are actually very North American centric. We base a lot of our practice and procedure on OSHA, the US OSHA, predominantly because when we started, that's where we brought the expertise from. In terms of the way, as our Australian, yes, they have, absolutely. Especially in the way they manage and quantify risk. For us, that's been the multi-layers of risk, as was pointed out on our presentation earlier, starting from the top all the way through, right down to the last detail, which is the person themselves. That's something that's really been embedded through our Australian parent company.
I am Dr. Faisal El Kartousi, occupational health physician from a neighboring sector, Managing Holding Company. My question, first and foremost, I can't deny your heavy efforts to improve health and security conditions in Morocco. And maybe you were also a source of inspiration for many companies in our private sectors, and I hope that it will be the same in Africa and the rest of the countries of Africa. My questions take birth from my scientific curiosity, and it's about occupational health research. Does Jesa company endorse occupational health researchers in the field of toxicology, occupational health toxicology, disease related to occupational work, and ergonomics, and also all the field that may be related, like epidemiology in the occupational in workplace. So because the problem nowadays that most of the occupational health researches are done in the hospitals, but the research done in workplace are usually neglected. So to know much, to improve occupational health in all of the worldwide, I think we need the help and the endorsements of companies to be able to do occupational health in workplace.
So I agree, 100%. And that's one of the main reasons why we're here, is to partner with agencies that can help us do this. So at the moment, I guess if I can answer, yes is the answer. We do endorse it. Do we sponsor it at the moment? The answer is no. But that's one of the reasons why we're here, to find people that we can partner with to push that agenda. Because if you want change and you want transformation, you need people in the private sectors to be able to take the concepts, to take the theory, to take the academia and put it into practice. And that's, as I said, that's one of the reasons why we're here. So if you do want to collaborate or you have some ideas, we're very happy to help and work and support. But as I said, that's one of the reasons why we're here. So I think that brings us to a natural conclusion. Again, I'd like to thank you all for your participation. I'd like to thank my colleagues as well for being here and also participating. And thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.